Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Avonlea Chronicles, a knitting podcast. My name is Martha and I'm here to talk about all things knitting and crafting. Originally, I wanted a podcast right after Christmas because I had asked for a few knitting things for Christmas, but some of them did not arrive. So I'm podcasting now and I'll just have to show them in a later podcast. But first, let's start off with something that I've been reading. I read the cutest story on my Kobo. It's called The Christmas Ring by Karen Kingsbury. And she is like a religious author, so there's a religious flair to her books. But this was the cutest story about a lost ring, and there's romance, and it was just a really easy and fairly quick read. My Kobo told me it was about 3 hours to read. So that's what I read. It was such a nice story, and it's being made into a film. And now I'm reading a book called Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. I'm only like 1 or 2 chapters in, but it's really good. And this zippered pouch has been so good for my Kobo. I'm so glad that I made this size because it's just really nice for keeping my Kobo nice and protected. And I watched Stranger Things over the holidays. I just finished yesterday. It was suggested to me by a friend to watch it, and she knows it's not my thing, but I watched it anyways, and my little notes were like, good storyline, good character development, but like way too much action at times. Lots of like, you would think you were watching an action film with the amount of like action and fighting that there was in it, but it was pretty good. And then I've just been watching a bunch of Christmas movies that are on Netflix as I work on projects. So let's get into it. Last time I podcasted, I don't think I was finished this mega comfort pouch. I think I had needed more purple. So I got more purple. It's fully lined. I was able to do a really nice rainbow with the lining, and it's great. And then I had somebody want to buy this, and I was not about to give this one up. So I looked through my granny squares, and I had 31 2-round grannies, and it needed 39 or 40. So I said I would make one, but the lining would be different, and the person really likes the look of the lining as well. So I ended up doing a lining with I had enough purple that the outside looks the same, except the grannies are all random. And then I used this coral color for the lining, and I did one panel with a couple of the shades of green. And then I did one panel with the shades of blue, and then she really liked the blue panel, so she wanted it on the outside. So there's one half with granny squares, and then the other half on the outside is the lining, and on the inside it's one lining and one granny square. And because that one is being used as a laptop bag, when I joined it, I used 2 strands of yarn when I joined them together, and 2 strands on the installation of the zipper, just because it's going to have more heavy use. So yeah, whipped up one of those, and I'm glad that these bags are done. Then I had started this in September. This is the midi size of the comfort pouch, and I wanted this for my notebook for all things Avonlea knits, just so that it would be more protected when I like throw it in my bag for school. It's also lined. This one I crocheted with loops and threads. Purple from Michaels. One ball of the light purple, one ball of the dark purple. Did this bag, and I again used the comfort pouch pattern, but made it into a pencil case. Also fully lined. This one, I used the join as you go method instead of continuous join as you go. So that's how I got it checkerboard. And then I held the lining, one of each of the colors of purple. And then I thought it needed a little extra flair. So I took the frill from the frilly pouch, which I have right here. I took the frill part of the pattern from the frilly pouch and put it onto the comfort pouch. So just gave it a little bit of extra cuteness and flair. And this is just a zipper pull from Walmart, which I put on the pencil case as well. So yeah, I did that. Now I can throw the pencil case in here and chuck this in my bag if I want to brain dump some notes about all things Avonlea knits. So got that finished, which was a task because that has been on my crochet hooks for a long time. Okay, I haven't been doing too much because I was working on those comfort pouches. This project, my little shawl that I'm now keeping in here, I've done nothing on, but hopefully I will get back on track with that and there'll be a new pattern coming out. Just very simple, something to work on during the winter. But I've been doing some other stuff. So in my friend's class, I've knit bunting, and that 2 years ago, and then last year I made pumpkins, a snowman, and 2 bunnies. So early in December, we're in the classroom and she's like, you know, I thought there would be something that'd be really cute that we could knit. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, but I don't remember what it was. And I'm like, well, you just tell me when you think of it. So a few nights later, I'm having dinner and I'm like, did you remember what you wanted knit? And she's like, no, but I think maybe it was a gingerbread man. So I go on to Ravelry and I type in gingerbread man. And what pops up is this gingerbread boy pattern. It's a free pattern. So I looked through the pictures and I'm like, that's really cute, looks really simple. Sent a picture and I said, like this? And she said, yes, perfect. So this is my gingerbread man. So it was super cute to knit up. I used Bernat Premium worsted weight and 4mm needles. This calls for worsted weight, but size 4, which is 3.5mm needles. So I just went up a needle size. I used the same needle size that I did for the snowman. Now this is a small gingerbread man. Like, here's my hand in comparison. The snowman was like 18 inches. So this is like half the size. You construct it from the top down. So you do the little raglan, put split for the arms and put those stitches on waste yarn, do the body, split for the legs, put one leg stitches on waste yarn. You knit a leg, then you pick up the stitches, knit the other leg, do the arms, then you do the head, and then you stuff it. So I constructed mine in that way, but I put weights in the bottom of mine so he will stand independently. They are a few washers and they are wrapped in yarn and then they're put in the bottom and then it's filled with stuffing. So it's going to be for kids. They're not going to get hurt by the weights that are in here. But once I finished the legs and the arms, I then put the weights in and I stuffed it. And then I picked up the stitches and I did the head. I also did my embroidery before I stitched it up as well. I was trying to replicate one of the versions of the gingerbread man that is studied in their class. So he's got blue eyes, red buttons, and then his mouth is in a little shape like that. I did my best. And then I hot glued the rickrack trim to the arms and the legs. So it's super cute. It's done. Cannot wait to take it into school. And then I had thought, oh, wouldn't it be cute to knit the Three Little Pigs? Because that's a story that the class will also study. So I found this pattern on Ravelry for a couple of bucks, so I bought it. And then I went onto Instagram, and there were 2 shades of pink that I saw that I thought could be good for a pig. I did a little poll on Instagram, and this one came out the winner. It's just called Pink. So I will be making some pigs. That is not something they do until the spring, till like almost the end of the school year. So I will just plug away at making 3 little pigs and a wolf. But I got the gingerbread man done, so it will just be added to the collection. I'm looking behind because a bunch of stuff fell. So yeah, let's talk about what I got for Christmas. So what I wanted that hasn't come yet is the stitch gauge ruler from Twice Sheared Sheep. It's just like a clear acrylic ruler, but it's got different stitch gauges on it, so you can put it on your knitting and match your stitches to whatever box, and that will give you your gauge. And little clips for my cables for my interchangeable needles, so I can clip them together, keep them organized by their size. And then I got a wool winder. I'm on like my 3rd wool winder, but I got a new one. I'm hoping this is going to be better than the others that I've had. And I also got some wool, which is right here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 of these. They smell very woolly, and it is 100 grams, knits as 4-ply, 100% wool, from Trefru Woolen Mills in North Wales. Look at that color. Oh my goodness. So I'm looking for like the perfect sweater pattern because I have 5 of these, and there's 350 yards per, that's the label, 350 yards per skein. I've just been keeping it in this bag because it smells so woolly. I don't know if I need to like air it out a bit, but I got that too. So I'm looking for the perfect sweater pattern to make with that. So that was what I got for Christmas. Those are all the projects that I've been working on. I've also been doing a cross stitch. This says Kindred Spirits, and I don't know if my goal is to keep working on this tomorrow or today. I just have to finish the ring of flowers. This part goes pretty quick because there's not too much, but these thicker flowers take a little bit more. So I'm hoping that if I just work on this all afternoon with a movie marathon, it'll be finished. And then I can do my little finishing work. I always glue a piece of felt to the back, but that will be a gift So I'm super excited that it's coming along really well. And then I have one more thing to talk about. I have been working on my Advent. My Anne of Green Gables Advent. And actually, let me grab what fell. Okay, I didn't mean for it all to fall on me, but it did. So, my Anne of Green Gables Advent. I'm wearing it. It is finished. The pattern is called Anne's Advent 2025. And this yarn came from Peggy May Yarns in England. And this is it. We started here with the orange and we go through all the way to the very end, 25 days. So it came with some extra goodies. It came with some wooden cutout ornaments that I put on my tree and some needle stoppers. We've got Christmas trees and a reindeer and a stocking. Now, I said to my mom, do you want to split? Do you want like a pair of Christmassy needle stoppers? So I said, you could have the stocking or the reindeer. And then I'm like, or we could just split it and we could have the best of both worlds, one of each. So she's got the other matching set. But those were like the extras. And this pillow sham that says, Dear Old World, you are very lovely and I'm glad to be alive in you. So I went and got a pillow insert from Fabricland to put in it. And oh, this little bag that says, it's been my experience that you can nearly always enjoy things if you make up your mind firmly that you will. Anne of Green Gables. And I've kept all my leftovers in here. So this pattern is an 18-row pattern repeat knit on the bias with the cutest little 5-petal like forget-me-not flowers. And it was 24 days of 20-gram minis in fingering weight, and then one full skein for like day 25. So when I did the math, because I was trying to figure out, do I use the whole mini skein in this pattern? And I was reading some other Advent patterns and no. And when I did the math, I'm like, that's almost 5 full skeins of yarn, which you would almost never make a shawl with 5 full skeins of yarn. That's just too much. So I did 18 rows and it has turned out to be the perfect length. We ended on day 24, but then I put one repeat of the full skein into my shawl. And then because I had so much left over, I decided to, like, I had a significant amount left over of each of the days. So this is kind of a mess at the moment. I made 7 round granny squares on a 3.5mm hook. And I've just made a little lap blanket. Out of the full skein, I did the 18 rows for one pattern repeat and bind off on the shawl. I did a 7 round granny square, and then I've been using that color to join. And then I'm just going around and doing, I did continuous join as you go. And now I'm just going around and doing one more round of like granny clusters around the edge. And then I'm gonna do a scalloped edge because I still have quite a bit left. So I've also been working on this. I just wanted to get like the most out of my Advent, and then I still have this much left of the colors. So I'm keeping them all in here. So that was it. That is what I've been working on. I'm so pleased with my advent pattern. I had originally thought that I was going to put the main skein in between each of the days, but I'm so glad I didn't. Some of these colors are so busy that I felt like putting the the full skein in between was going to be too much. So yeah, this is it. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I'm so pleased with my first yarn advent. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Once I finish the cross stitch and my blanket, the blanket is so close and the cross stitch is super close, I'm going to work on my shawl and the cardigan that I've had out for like the past year. And yeah, that's it for now. Oh, I also for Christmas got a $100 gift card for the yarn shop, my local yarn shop. So I'm going to I have a mini skein set that I really want to put into a colorwork sweater or top, but I need like a neutral color to go with this mini skein set. So I'm going to use my gift certificate to go get a neutral color that will go with this mini set for a colorwork top. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on, and you won't see this cross stitch again, but I will probably post a picture on my social media when it's done. But you just have to imagine that this type of flowers will be all the way around. And yeah, I am gonna go off to church now, and then I'm gonna come home and cross stitch all afternoon so I can get my project done. So I will see you in a couple of weeks. Hopefully my stitch gauge ruler and my clips for my interchangeable cables will have come in, and the last 3 Anne of Green Gables character clubs from Peggy May Yarns, they shipped on December 9th. So they've been in the mail for about a month, and hopefully they will also be here because I've been waiting for those, which is also why I didn't really podcast over the holidays. So I hope you had a great holidays and Happy New Year, and I'm wishing you all the best in 2026. And I'll be back here in a few weeks with some more finished projects and some new projects on the needles.